Anybody home under this rotting log? Just me. Hey, everybody. I went out on a nature walk today to look for some rotting logs. I love looking under rotting logs. In fact, I can't really pass by a rotting log without taking a peek underneath. There's centipedes and pill bugs and mycelium, a whole world under a rotting log. So I brought a book with me today that we can read before we go out on a nature walk for some rotting logs. This is one of my favorite books. Oh, I got leaves in it. Around One Log by Anthony D. Fredericks and illustrated by Jennifer DeRubio. Let's take a peek inside. Now this book kind of helps talk you through the community of a rotting log. Here stood a great tree with branches high. It flourished and grew up toward the sky. But a summer storm and a lightning stroke splintered the wood in this giant oak. Then a muscled wind blew all around, and the ancient tree tumbled to the ground. Have you ever heard the crack of a tree falling in the woods? Such an incredible sound. This was the tree. Look at that tree. Have you ever laid on the ground right below a tree and just looked up at the branches? This is kind of reminds me of that. I love doing that. Long soaking rains seeped into some spaces. Wide patches of moss spread over these places. Over time, the great tree slowly wasted away. The once mighty trunk began to decay. Then ants, worms, and millipedes prowled here and there, while crickets and beetles dashed everywhere. All through the years, this rotting log site was a home for critters, both day and night. These are the termites that feed on the wood. They chew and devour. To them it tastes good. From top to bottom, inside and out, both friend and foe all ramble about. A quick salamander, scared by a sound, darts 'neath the log and soft, squishy ground. He's a neighbor to termites that feed on the wood. They chew and devour, to them it tastes good. From top to bottom, inside and out, both friend and foe all ramble about. Have you ever spotted a salamander under a log? I get so excited when I do. The kids at my program actually have a log that we call salamander log, because there's almost always a salamander under that log. Some gray roly-polies, rounded and small, hide deep inside tunnels, curled into a ball. It's their home near the salamander, scared by a sound, who darts 'neath the log and the soft, squishy ground. He's a neighbor to termites that feed on the wood. They chew and devour, to them it tastes good. From top to bottom, inside and out, both friend and foe all ramble about. Does everybody notice that the animals in this book are all called neighbors? It's kind of like how we live in a community with neighbors. A soul garter snake in search of some prey slithers and slides for most of the day. Above roly-polies, rounded and small, hidden deep inside tunnels, curled into a ball. It's their home near the salamander, scared by a sound, who darts 'neath the log and the soft, squishy ground. He's a neighbor to termites that feed on the wood. They chew and devour. To them it tastes good. From top to bottom, inside and out, both friend and foe all ramble about. These red velvet mites, 100 or so, swarm over the log on top and below. They live with the snake in search of some prey, who slithers and slides for most of the day. Above roly-polies, rounded and small, hidden deep inside tunnels, curled into a ball. It's their home near the salamander, scared by a sound, who darts 'neath the log and the soft, squishy ground. He's a neighbor to termites that feed on the wood. They chew and devour, so them it tastes good. From top to bottom, inside and out, both friend and foe all ramble about. Some daddy long legs, like alien creatures, have thin, spindly legs and other strange features. They creep past the mites, 100 or so, swarming over the log on top and below. They live with the snake in search of some prey who slithers and slides for most of the day. Above roly-polies, rounded and small, hidden deep inside tunnels, curled into a ball. It's their home near the salamander scared by a sound, who darts 'neath the log and the soft squishy ground. He's a neighbor to termites that feed on the wood. They chew and devour, to them it tastes good. From top to bottom, inside and out, both friend and foe all ramble about. This is the chipmunk who twitters and squeaks, then gathers some seeds and pecks up her cheeks. She springs over long legs, those alien creatures, with their spindly legs and other strange features. They creep past the mites, 100 or so, swarming over the log on top and below. They live with the snake in search of some prey, who slithers and slides for most of the day. Above roly-polies, rounded and small, hidden deep inside tunnels, curled into a ball. It's their home near the salamander scared by a sound, who darts 'neath the log and the soft, squishy ground. He's a neighbor to termites that feed on the wood. They chew and devour. To them it tastes good. From top to bottom, inside and out, both friend and foe all ramble about. Year after year, the log continued to rot. Then a class on a walk came up to this spot. One student, she asked to her teacher, she said, "Is this log alive, or is it now dead?" The end. That was Around One Log by Anthony D. Fredericks and illustrated by Jennifer DeRubio. And what do you think? Is a rotting log alive? Is it dead? So now that we have an awesome understanding of who lives around a rotting log, how they work together, let's go look at some rotting logs. Before we head out, I brought this picture with me. It is a description of a rotting log community. Now, this is something that we would call an ecosystem. And an ecosystem is basically an interaction between all the animals that live in a habitat and how they interact with that habitat. Now, let's go see if we can find some rotting logs. Now, when I'm looking for a rotting log, I don't really look for any kind of log in particular. I just look for one that speaks to me. So maybe it looks like it's really decaying, or there's tons of mushrooms on it. That's what speaks to me when I'm looking for my rotting logs. All right, everybody, I found my first rotting log that I want to look under. Come take a peek with me. So I always gently roll the log over and say, "Anybody home?" Oh my goodness, everybody, we've got some people or some animals living under this rotting log. Take a peek. I'm moving everything really carefully because I don't want to disturb anyone. I see a millipede. Do you see that millipede? Right here. Just a little one. And then do you notice these kind of white hairs underneath the log? Those are mycelium. And that's how mushrooms get their nutrients. So, millipede and some mycelium. Let's go find another log to check out. I'm gonna roll this log back over because I wanna be safe, kind, and gentle. And I wouldn't like it if someone came into my house and moved all of my furniture around. So I'm gonna roll it back. Thanks for letting me see you, everybody. And let's go find another log. I think I found a good one, everybody. Let's go take a peek. So this one's a little bit bigger, which makes me hopeful. check it out here. There's my log. All right, I'm gonna roll it over gently. Oh, it's heavy. Anybody home? Oh my goodness, everybody, look at this log. Now, oh, I see a little millipede right here. I see more mycelium, but I'm not seeing too many other critters under here. Does anybody notice something I'm not noticing? Still pretty cool. Let's go find another log. All right, here's our rotting log. Now, I'm gonna be safe, kind, and gentle when I roll it over. Let's see here. Oh, this one's stuck in the ground. Anybody home? Oh, I spot a centipede. Can you see it? There it is, crawling all around. And, oh, who are you, friend? Does anyone recognize this little critter living under a rotting log? I spot some mycelium, those little threads from a mushroom that give it nutrients. Now, I'm gonna try to peel away some of this bark and see if anybody's underneath. Anybody home under there? Nope, doesn't look like it. But we still got a centipede and some sort of grub underneath this log. All right, I'm gonna roll it back over. Thanks for letting me see you. They're just the way I found it. All right, so we got to see some awesome possum rotting logs, and I bet you can find more in your own yard and neighborhood. But after a rotting log adventure, I like to kind of remember what I saw or log in my brain what I saw by making a bug out of natural materials. Now, you can make a bug that you saw under a log or dream one up in your brain, and all you have to do is collect some natural materials and design. So I collected a nice piece of tree bark. This kind of reminded me of a bug's body. What do you think? I collected a couple of acorns. I was thinking these could be some eyes for my bug. Then I collected some sticks. I'm gonna make mine an insect, so my bug will have 6 legs. And then I also collected just a couple of pieces, very small, of lichen. And I'm gonna add that to kind of decorate my bug, give it a little camouflage. So I'm just gonna make my bug right up here. And like I said, it's gonna be an insect. Let me make sure you guys can see that. There we go. So it's gonna have 6 legs. So I'm gonna give it 1, 2, well, my legs might roll off this log, 3, 4, stay on the log legs, 5, we'll tuck these under. Come on, losing legs here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, last leg. 6. Come on, legs. Come on, legs. All right, well, my bug lost 2 legs. It's tough being a bug. Now, I'm gonna give my bug a couple of acorn eyes. Oh, I want the pokey part pointing out. There we go. 1, 2, and done. Now, you can get a little bit more intricate than I did, a little bit more involved, but that's all it takes. Let me show you my bug up close. There's my cute little bug. So go outside, everybody. Look under some rotting logs. See who's home. Be sure to return the log exactly the way you found it. Remember, we wouldn't want people coming into our houses and moving our furniture around. And then sketch what you see in your nature notebook or build a little nature bug. But most importantly, have a whole bunch of fun because there's no wrong way to explore a rotting log. All right, I'll see you soon, everybody.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Bye-bye.